things I've ever seen. I just don't want to.
Did you hit someone?
No, but like I was following a guy. He had no brake lights. And I'm like, this guy's an idiot.
All right, we're good.
All right, you hop on as soon as you're ready.
Breathe for a second. You all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just feel bad if I'm late.
Okay. What's kickball yesterday?
We went 1-1.
Okay, is that good?
Not really. We probably should have won both games, but it is what it is.
Especially if you're gonna be going out to play with the big boys,
No.
because you're good enough.
No. Quads aren't meant for this shit anymore. My quads are still killing me. We're not okay. We're not live. That would have been bad.
No, I mean we're live. We're just muted. We're waiting.
All right, I'm good.
We've been going for 4.5 minutes.
All right, we're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Whole Story. We are here on the biggest week of the year for celebrities and casual fans, and Alex and I's most painful week of the whole entire year. But hey, we are happy to be here. We got a full show today where we get to talk about and recap the Imola Grand Prix. Alex might find out who our secret guest picker was last week.
Might?
No, you will. And then we'll get to preview Monaco Grand Prix. So busy week here. But Alex, how we doing in general? Everything all right?
No, I'm down bad, John. You
Yeah.
know, the Knicks lost pretty badly yesterday.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mother's on the injury on the IR right now. We don't know what next season looks like. Rumor is we might be looking at Devin Booker. If we get Devin Booker, I'm letting you know right now. I am rooting for the Indiana Fever for the rest of my NBA fan career.
Why would you not be happy to get Devin Booker?
I can't stand Devin Booker. I think his entire persona is like it's so fraudulent. He has this same problem I have with Devin Booker is the same problem I have with Jason Tatum. They both think they're Kobe Bryant. Neither of them are Kobe Bryant. Jason Tatum is Paul George.
Okay.
Tell me I'm wrong. Jason Tatum is literally Paul George.
Okay, keep going.
He's a good player, solid player. Comes to the playoffs, doesn't show up year after year after year after year. I don't know how many times Boston fans have to get proven wrong that he's not Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Devin Booker wants to be Kobe Bryant, but he spends most of his time whining. I don't want him on the Knicks.
Okay. That upset, huh?
Yeah. So
Wow.
how you doing with that Thunder?
I mean, I've like one of the youngest teams in NBA history that almost went to the Western Conference Finals. I'm okay with it. Okay, I'm not upset. Not mad like you are.
No,
like we exceeded. I'm not.
See,
you're
I'm
so
like,
angry. I don't
no,
get
I'm
why
not-
you're so angry. Your team did better than expected.
So I'm not upset that we lost. I honestly didn't expect us to make it this far in this series just because of how injured we are.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like what the off season is looking like right now. But I do know the Knicks tend to do the unexpected during the off season the last couple of years.
I mean, like, weren't you supposed to be Kevin Durant one off?
Yeah, and then we got Jalen Brunson instead. And then during the trade deadline, one year we got Josh Hart. Everybody said that was a bozo move. We got DiVincenzo as a big signing last year. Everyone said that was a bozo move.
Yeah.
OG during the trade deadline this year, everyone said that was a bozo move. Made no sense to do that for RJ Barrett when essentially they felt like they were the same players. Number wise, they were the same players, but OG's just a little more better shooter and a lot better defender.
So I feel like we just talked yourself out. You can relax a little bit, okay?
Yeah,
you might not get Devin Booker.
I just don't want D-Book.
But yes, Knicks are down bad. Yanks still look good. That's good.
I'm not a Yankees fan.
You're not a Yankees fan?
I'm a Mets fan, John.
Do you go to the Yankees games with the boys?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
and they sit there and harass me the entire time.
Oh, well, yeah. If you're a Mets fan, you really are down bad. I don't even know that much about baseball,
No,
but I
we're
heard the
bad.
Mets
We're not good.
I heard there's like 4 people in the stadium sometimes too. It's bad.
It's pretty bad right now.
Oh man. Oh well. How do we do watching Imola this week?
I watched FP3. I watched
Okay.
qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
The overall race, I missed the last 10 laps or so of the overall race because
Okay.
I was playing kickball.
And you never went back and
I
rewatched
did.
it?
I did go
just
back and
live.
rewatch
Yeah,
it. I have a few things that on my mind towards the end of the race that I think people are pushing this false narrative around for a little bit.
Okay.
But we'll get to that when we get to that.
I'm so excited that you have a false narrative push on your mind.
Well, I feel like the fans are pushing a false narrative.
I like it. I like that you're
Okay.
bringing juice. I'm pumped. So let's talk about Imola real quick. Let's recap the practices. Alex, go ahead and interject in when you feel like it. Ferrari looked the strongest through all the practices. This is before we seen anything else. Ferrari looked the strongest. A Alonso wrecks, destroys the car. There are a lot of upgrades on the car.
Oh, F3, that's right.
Yeah, that kind of put him on the back foot of the weekend. On the weekend, McLaren looked fast. Verstappen was struggling with that car through all the practices.
Do you feel like that's been a common thing lately?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Like almost since the beginning, I would say even towards the end of last season, it seems like Verstappen just doesn't like the setup going into the practices, and somehow during qualifying, they just pull this magnificent setup together.
Yeah,
it's like I don't even trust the free practices from Red Bull at all. I don't trust the numbers at all.
Yeah, no, and you shouldn't. I think Ferrari and Leclerc said that a lot of those guys had all their stuff turned down in practice because they looked the fastest, and then they weren't during the rest of the race weekend. But you're right. I think Horner praised his guys for a good turnaround of the car because it didn't look that good during practice. But yeah, I'm with you. Max seems very unhappy with the car in practice so far through the season.
Yeah, it just seems like a common thing to be going on and on this season. So I don't really trust these free practices. Just checking audio. Sorry.
Jeez. I'm like, I thought so. You look at your watch.
Yeah, I saw,
and
yeah,
then you
so,
grab the headphones. So I'm like, did he just get a text that we don't have audio?
I got a text that our audio sounds really faint.
Our audio sounds faint.
Yeah. I can turn up
From who?
The live stream, Bella. Oh, we're good. We sound good.
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
What's
okay.
Bella? Why is Bella sabotaging the show? She's a fan. Why is she out here sabotaging?
It's her AirPods.
Yeah.
All right. So
you can't get those AirPods off of Temu. You need the real things. Okay. Yeah. What else? I feel like that. And then pre-practice. Sorry, I know I'm jumping around. A lot of Senna tributes went on. Seb was at the track. He raced one of Senna's cars that he owns. That was cool. They all did a Senna run. Everyone wearing their shirts. Apparently, Verstappen's Bottas's got stolen. That's why they weren't wearing them.
I find it really hard to believe. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just think that they just didn't want to wear it. I find it really hard to believe that somebody broke into an F1 track and just stole this from Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe the box of shirts. Someone grabbed them. I don't know.
But like the other thing about that is like, okay, there was so many guys who were participating in that weren't Max Verstappen or Valtteri, both us.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, like, have one of them just give up the shirt. Just have one of the pit crew guys or somebody who wasn't, like, a big name. Like, especially Max. Max is, like, the guy in F1 right now. He's not the face of F1. He never will be just because, like, he's not a marketing person. But, like, he's a pretty important person to, like, not be wearing that. You know what I mean? And
but
I know
he didn't seem to be getting roasted. They seemed to defend him pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he had the pin for the other guy who passed away in qualifying. I can't remember his name. During that same race weekend. I forget his name, but a few guys, they had like pins and stickers on their helmets and they were representing him. Yep. So Max was wearing the pin, but the Senna thing.
Yeah, but big Senna tribute this week because that was the track that he lost his life at.
Yeah, Seb drove the MP4.
Yep.
Super jealous of that one. That car, I love that car.
That car's cool. Looks cool, sounds cool, just everything's cool about it. So that was a cool tribute leading up into the week. And then the one little bit of news is Alex Albon got that contract extension. Fortunately, this was not a great weekend for him week one, but we had him early in our silly season rumors talking about potentially going somewhere. So Williams is very committed to Alex Albon, and I respect it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Albon had options to lay out. I think it just sucks that, like, realistically, I think he could have fit that Mercedes seat pretty well. I think the perfect team for him would have been Aston Martin.
Okay.
But like that option is obviously out the window with Fernando staying on and Lance Stroll not going anywhere anytime soon unless Lawrence Stroll decides to leave the team.
But even so, I think Yuki's getting that seat.
I think Yuki deserves that seat too.
Especially, but with Honda coming in, it's like
I think it makes the most sense.
It's either Lance or Yuki is what it seems like.
I just think I think Alex deserves a mid-tier car right now. Like he shouldn't be lingering around the back right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was the news going into it. We kind of just recapped practice for you. So we'll spitball qualifying here for you. We start down in 20th. We got Logan Sargent, 19th Fernando Alonso, 18th Kevin Magnussen, 17th Joe Guanyu, and then this isn't right, is it?
Fernando Alonso. That's right. Fernando Alonso was P18.
Yep. K-Mag 18, Joe Guanyu 17, Valtteri Bottas 16th. Alonso's the big shocker there.
I mean, he red flagged during the FP3. They had to scramble a car back together. They also the car that he did wreck too also came with new upgrades.
Yeah.
So obviously he wasn't going to get those upgrades parts back. Like he's probably got pretty messed up setup.
Yeah.
Going back into qualifying, so that really just put a damper on his weekend as a whole.
Yeah, and after he qualified 19th, he was very quick to say how I feel about this track is that the passing on here is minimal. He said it's the second hardest track to pass after Monaco. He said that even Singapore is easier to pass than this place.
That was shocking.
So he had very low expectations after that, and they just never kind of came to fruition. I believe K-Mag, Joe Guanyu, and Bottas, that's no shockers for myself. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, that's about right. Bottas almost pulled it off. I think Hamilton just nicked him out there, which is another scary note for Mercedes fans.
Yeah, absolutely. I hate it.
It was really, really close.
I hate it. Yeah, I don't know why.
Surprise in there, just to throw it up there real quick. Nico, I think, qualified at one point, was like P1 for a little bit, and then I think he ended up out of Q1.
Yeah.
And I think he ended up qualifying in the Q1 at like P3 or something like that.
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
end of the session.
So since you went there, he gave Max Verstappen gave him a tow, which is essentially why he got P1 to go into Q3.
Gotcha.
And then he returned that favor to Max Verstappen on Max's last lap, which led him to get in first place, which some people were not upset about, but he messed up the last corner pretty bad. So maybe if it wasn't for that tow down into turn one, that Oscar would have gotten pole and then lost it anyways. But yeah, no, it's Nico and Max they're playing games with each other, helping each other out, which is respectful. Max is like, if I get him in the top 10, this would mean someone else who might have a decent car might not get in, and that's a long game to play. Yeah, but like Nico returned the favor. Nico's like, I know I'm not going to qualify first. He get me into Q3. That's where I need to be. So I respect it out of the two of them. But in Q2, you had Pierre Gasly in 15th, eliminated Alex Albon 14th, Lance Stroll 13th, Esteban Ocon 12th, and then the shocker, Sergio Perez in 11th place. The Alpine's there, no shocker. Honestly, the shocker there is Sergio Perez in 11th place.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch qualifying as a whole because that was a shocker to me. I'm just curious, what setup, did he get hit traffic? What happened there that he did not get into Q2?
He said, "What a mess," and then they never really showed anything. Like they didn't show him getting impeded or him having a bad turn. So even the commentators were like, I don't know why he's saying what a mess, but
gotcha.
Yeah. We're almost getting back to that Sergio Perez. Again, start off the season hot, and then now we're back to what are you doing, bro? Where are we? Teammates qualifying 1, you're qualifying 11th. It's not a good look. But same old story for him. We go into Q3 as we just discussed. Max Verstappen's tow gets Nico Hülkenberg into 10th, but that's as far as he gets. Danny Rick in 9th, Lewis Hamilton 8th, Yuki Tsunoda with a great qualifying run in 7th. George Russell 6th, 2 Ferraris, Seitz in 5th, Leclerc in 4th. The 2 McLarens, Lando in 3rd, Oscar in 2nd, and Max in 1st place. Oscar gets the grid penalty, which makes him start the race in 5th. That was
so unfortunate.
So unfortunate.
That's literally all on McLaren, too. It's not even Oscar's fault. They got to announce to him, hey, get out the way.
Yeah,
in the situation. I'm sure he's looking in his mirror as best he can, but, it's a tight track.
Yeah.
I forget what turn it exactly happened where he impeded a little bit.
It was early.
Who was it on, though?
K-Mag?
Was it K-Mag?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a guy who had no business even being in the race at that point. It's such an unfortunate situation because Oscar, I think, just a little spoiler, I think Oscar deserved driver of the day for the weekend. I know what people are going to say for that last stint, but I kind of disagree just because of the situation that happened with Max's car towards the end.
Okay.
So I think what happened with Max's car made Lando's stint that more impressive. But I do think Oscar deserved it. He was just stuck. It's impossible to overtake. But he was. The commentators said it time and time again. Oscar's gonna know the back end of the Ferrari and give you a picture, a perfect picture of it because he's just stuck there behind them the entire race.
Yeah,
but he was quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't really think anyone deserves a driver of the day because that race just sucked. No one did anything cool, but yes, absolutely. Oscar, very unfortunate weekend. Again, showing pace, It's hard to say what his race pace actually was. As Alex said, it was hard, but like this is you finally get all the upgrades and you show up and you qualify second. That's a great outing right there. So Lando ends up starting second, Leclerc ends up starting third, Carlos starts fourth, and then Oscar starts fifth. You ready to dive into this race?
I needed that to stay that way. I just needed Charles to overtake, and I was golden.
Yeah, and the AI had the best points out of the three of us. Oh, I told you who it was. No!
You didn't. You did not do AI.
I did do AI. Oh, I ruined it. Oh, my God.
No, you're trolling. There's no way. You're trolling. You're 100% trolling.
No, it was AI. I swear to God. Oh, I can't believe I just ruined it like that.
That is so much worse than I thought. I thought you hit up Anthony and he gave you some random names together. I thought you might have hit up like DeCello because he watches a little bit. Like I can't.
Does DeCello watch?
A little bit. He has F1 brake lights on his car, which are sick.
F1 brake lights?
Yeah, so you know how they you know, like cops, undercover cop cars, when they brake, they kind of like shudder a little, like the F1 cars do.
Okay.
Ryan's brake lights do the same thing.
On his personal car or his
personal car?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, it is AI. I just ruined that. Oh, that makes me so upset.
It is so unfortunate.
All right, well, we'll get to the full backstory of that. But anyways, yes, race results here. Max Verstappen gets the lead from first, has a great, same thing as last week, first stint on the medium tires. Towards the end of the race in the hard tires, the car falls apart. What was an 8 to 10 second gap ended up being a 0.7 gap at the line. Pretty exciting stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's fun to ask you because you left to go watch kickball and then you come back.
Yeah, and
did you expect that to happen? For it to be that close?
I wasn't expecting that. I know Matt. See, this is where I think the false narrative is being pushed right now. People are saying McLaren has the quickest car on the weekend. That McLaren had the quickest car, period. Mm-hmm. And they're pushing this narrative that Max is like just the difference maker in that Red Bull. That Red Bull is still the fastest car. If you watch the side by side qualifying between, I think it was Oscar's car, and they didn't use Lando, even though Lando technically was started in Q2. Mm-hmm. When they show Oscar and Max's like car comparison, Max right off the straight line speed just gapped him immediately, and then Oscar made it up in between like the slow turns and stuff like that. But like that car is still fast as heck. Like the Red Bull is still the fastest car, and I'm seeing pushed all over the narrative like, oh, we actually have a chance for a World Driver Championship like competition this season with Lando potentially almost winning this race, even though he really didn't have a chance. Because even if he closed the gap to 0.7 seconds, people are like, oh, if there was one more lap left, I'm like, he still can't overtake here.
That was the narrative. Was that all he needed was one more lap? And in my mind, I'm like,
you can't overtake.
You watched Oscar push Carlos around for
the entire race,
for 15 laps.
The entire race.
Yeah. So
both Ferraris, he was just pushing them around. He just could not overtake. Like, and you're telling me Max, the guy who's the king of just pushing somebody off the track if he wants it, is gonna let Lando overtake here? Absolutely not.
I'm on the same thing with you. All these, I only needed X amount of more laps. My brain is like, I don't really know about that.
And it's just like the McLaren still, they were quick. They definitely closed the gap. Like
they're making things exciting.
Yeah, they're making things exciting. But like the Red Bull is still the fastest car on the grid. Yeah, it's not a question.
And it was a setup issue with Max Verstappen. They said
he said he was losing power, like battery power towards the end or something like that too, right?
Yeah, but they said his tires. The tires, they didn't wear down. They fell out of their heating window, so they got too cool, and that's why he felt like he was on ice, and that's why he was slowing down.
Gotcha.
But this is the second race. I guess they didn't push hard enough on the hard tires in practice, and that's what they're attributing their lack of setup issues to.
I don't think you guys can be able to hear that, but yeah, Carter's having a day.
I don't know. I think he's screaming for us down here. I think that is a dad. Shouts out Carter. But anyways, so Lando Norris, he starts second. He kind of just hangs in second a lot of the race. He gets pressure by Leclerc. We thought, maybe something. Turns out to be nothing. Drives away from Leclerc. But this McLaren is bringing the fight to Red Bull. It is exciting.
Yeah, it is. I thought it was just funny because in the beginning of the race, when I think by like lap 7, Max was like a 2-second gap almost immediately. Yeah. And then the commentators are like, McLaren looks like the fastest car on the track, and he starts closing the gap, and I'm like, Are you guys watching the numbers at all? Because it was like the number. It was like 2 seconds, 2.2, 2.6, 2.8, and then all of a sudden I was like, what race are you guys watching?
Yeah. Yeah, never early on did you think Lando had a chance. Lando didn't have a chance until the last 10, 15 laps.
I wouldn't even say he had a chance. Like,
well, I mean,
the only chance he had is he got him off the starting line.
Yeah, and he did not. Max started so good. But Lando, man, with a first and then a second, we're going to go over points later. He's just racking them up lately. But I'm loving seeing it. These cars they're closer than they've been in the past with Red Bull, and it's just going to mean that no mistakes can be made. And Red Bull hasn't made many mistakes in general, but like, a slow tire pit stop now before would have been not an issue. Now, like, he'll lose track position, which is super exciting. Ferrari, who was strong all weekend, they admitted their competitors just kind of dogged it in practice. Charles Leclerc had a quiet day in third again, got some pressure on Lando, but that ended up being that, and never, I don't think, felt too much pressure from behind. Oscar Piastri, who we've talked about, started fifth, pushed Carlos Sainz around fourth for a while. Carlos Sainz.
Just think of it like signs, like
signs? Stop signs,
yeah.
And just add an S to it.
Yeah.
Carlos Sainz. Pushed Carlos around the track for a lot of laps. Ended up undercutting him in the pits because, we're not passing anyone on track here.
He got the.
Yep. But then never really closed that gap. Never closed the gap for Leclerc.
They just knew I had him in P5.
That makes you that mad, huh?
I was upset. I was like, damn, I can get some big points this weekend. I saw what the qualifying was. I'm like, all I need is Leclerc to overtake, and I'm golden. I got every 1 through 5 right.
There's an 8-second gap between them, though. It's not even like it was close. Like, Oscar was much faster.
Oh, no, I agree with you. But all I needed was if Charles could somehow overtake Lando like makes a mistake. He's not, like, again, Oscar was faster than both Ferraris, and he was stuck behind them. Yep. I think Lando would have had the same situation with Charles.
Yeah, that's true. But, to Alex's dismay, Oscar fourth, Carlos fifth. Lewis Hamilton drove a quiet race along with his teammate George Russell in 6th and 7th. Oh. They had a weird pit thing at the end. I do think that Lewis was going to pass George.
I think so, too. I think George sounded really whiny.
Yeah, and I'm always on board with Lewis and watching Lewis the most. That gap went from like 8 seconds to like about 4 or under, and there were still 10 or 11 laps left. Remember, Lewis stayed out longer, so his tires were 6-7 laps fresher.
Yeah.
So he was going to pass George probably anyway, so this just guaranteed them the fastest point, and they stay ahead of Sergio Perez in 7th. So, but they were by themselves all day.
Yeah, they had a pretty boring race.
Yeah.
It's like, I was surprised to see George complain at all, like during that stint, like towards the end.
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't want to concede track position. I think that's what he said. I don't want to concede the position. That's what it was.
Yeah, and they still just pulled him in anyway.
You got to go in, man. Like you're jeopardizing potentially your race. You're stealing a point from yourself and the team.
Yeah.
I know. I think George has this really misconstrued idea in his head, especially because like Ferrari is getting Lewis next year. Maybe we'll change the decorations next year, John.
Oh, we're definitely.
But yeah, he just has this misconstrued, like Toto just fed it into his head that like, yeah, you're World Driver Championship material. I think he is World Driver Championship material, but it's also, I don't think Mercedes fully trusted him either, because like they're looking at Kimi, they're looking at Max, they're looking at other drivers who are better than George right now. Theoretically, Kimi could be better than George. I just think George has like a big ego right now, and like he has to like concede that position there. Like him complaining just sounded so bad to me.
Okay, I respect it. Yeah, I mean,
he just has a history with Imola.
He
just makes wrong decisions at Imola all the time.
That's true. That's a good callback.
He almost kills Valtteri Bottas and then slaps him on the head.
That is a great callback. I love that. But yeah, it's a very lonely race for them. Sergio Perez, who started 11th, works his way up to 8th place. Lance Stroll, 9th place, which was kind of solid for Lance. He passed some cars, got into some points for Aston Martin. I know you don't like to give the man much credit, but it was a decent race for him.
I just think that I saw this narrative too that like because Alonso just had a shitty situation with the red flagging, like damaging the car and stuff, that like he's hurting that team so much, and like, I don't think you guys realize how much Alonso's done for this team. It's insane. Like they last year they're not anywhere in constructors competing for P4. Were they competing for at the end of the year? Because I know they finished 5th, right, behind McLaren, because McLaren made that comeback.
Yeah, so that would be
so they were close. I think
Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, whatever, 1, 2, 3, McLaren, 4, and then 5. Yeah.
So they were I know they were like kind of close. Like I want to say the last like 2 races made it. They were still fighting for the points.
Yep.
They're not even anywhere close. If it was not Alonso, just
no.
pulling P3s out of his ass with that car last year.
Yeah, no, definitely not on Fernando, but it was a good day by Lance. Yuki had a solid run in 10th, maybe gave up a spot because he got stuck behind Logan Sargent. No, Nico Hülkenberg. He got stuck behind someone for a long time, wasn't able to pass him. But Yuki racking up points. Alex and I had a lot of discussions early on in the year, like, how are we saying Yuki's doing better than Daniel? We don't have enough sample size. We're starting to have a sample size, and Yuki is doing his thing. He's getting points for this team.
I think he's out-qualified Ricardo every single race that maybe won. And not even, I think he has out-qualified except for the sprint race at one time, but Ricardo qualified P4 or P3 or whatever it was. Yuki's having a solid year. I think it sucks that like Red Bull won't even consider him.
Yeah.
Helmet just isn't a fan of Yuki at all. But yeah, Yuki, he's going to have a really unfortunate career when it comes to like F1. Like he's just kind of stuck where he is. I can't see him going to any other team.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't like blowing my socks off either, though. That like.
No, but I definitely think he deserves like a midfield, like an Alex Albon situation again. Like he deserves like a midfield car.
Okay.
Even though this car is looking pretty quick lately.
Yeah, no, I respect that take, and as long as he keeps racking up points, they could potentially, they need a little bit more juice because of what Fernando did at the beginning of the year, but they have a chance of pushing Aston Martin 4 points at the end of the season.
I think so.
I'll believe.
I think so too. I think that Aston Martin's really starting to slow down. I know Lawrence Stroll is really upset with the progression at Aston Martin too.
Yeah.
Which is, I know he's been rumored that he's considered selling the team. I don't think he's going to sell the team. I think he loves the sport too much, to be out of it entirely. And the V-Carb, whatever the heck the name is.
I think they call it V-Carb or something silly like that.
Yeah, so V-Carb, they're looking pretty quick. And I had them finishing P5 because I thought they looked pretty good during testing. So I hope they come to fruition. I hope Danny Rick starts to turn things around too.
Yeah, they're doing good, but the problem is Yuki's only scrounging around 1 or 2 points. When we look at the constructors, you're going to see the gap. And it's going to take a little bit more. It's going to take some 6th, 7th place finishes.
I think Danny Rick's going to make a difference here.
Okay.
I think he's starting to show up. It's not like he did qualify. He did get into Q3.
Yeah.
He qualified P9 or
P9.
something like that. Yeah. And I remember he qualified behind Hülkenberg qualified behind him. I'm like, he's going to lose that position almost immediately. That's kind of like almost what happened.
Yeah.
But he's starting to put it together. So I think it's going to be a nice race toward the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. 11th place, Nico Hülkenberg. He got Yuki off the start. Was pretty excited. Again, I think they're doing great with that team. They're doing the best they can get. You look in 12th place, K-Mag right there. I'm happy for Haas. I hope they keep pushing. They need to find, what do they need to find, Alex? Another 2 to 3 tenths, and they could be, maybe challenging for points.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, like, they're definitely overachieving.
Yeah.
Every facet. I'm curious to see what it's going to look like. Because Ali Behrman got a stint in, I think, free practice too for K-Mag. And I think realistically, I could see them hanging on to K-Mag because obviously losing Nico next year.
Yep.
And I could see them going with Ali Behrman. I think that'd be a fun duo to watch. And I think they could score some points and get some things on it because I think K-Mag just completely solidified. He's just going to play the team games throughout. Yeah. And I think Haas is going to appreciate that. And I don't think Haas wants to experiment with potentially 2 rookies again.
Yeah, no, I think everything you just said was absolutely perfect to a T right there for Haas. So we're going to see what they're doing going forward. But 11th and 12th doesn't get you points, but it gets you respect, at least in this basement.
This year.
That they're doing. Yeah, this year. But it gets
next year that's starting that or the year after?
I don't know that the vote went through. I didn't hear.
Oh, okay.
But soon it would be coming up. But they get respect in the basement here. Danny Rick finishes 13th. That's, dropping down a few places. I think just kind of strategy and stuff didn't work out for him. Ocon 14th. They said that they didn't have the car to score the points. They need to get back to the drawing board. We got a little bit excited. Was it last week? Miami? They had some speed.
Yep. I think he finished P10.
Yeah.
He got his first points this season. The car's definitely made a lot more improvements than I thought possible.
Yeah.
Especially with like the crapshoot it is in Alpine right now.
Yeah. 14th place for him. Joe Guan Yu 15th. Pierre Gasly 16th. You had Sargent 17th. Bottas 18th. Fernando 19th. They basically, I think they didn't retire the car, but he was in his own race down there. And then Alex Albon with the DNF and a loose wheel throughout it. But the race wasn't what I thought. The racing was what I thought it was. The race wasn't what I thought it would be with Norris catching him at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But, I really try to put some thought into this. We're hard on these tracks. But obviously, you sign a contract with a track. They need to have contracts. Or else, the track doesn't want to make a commitment investing in their track and then, only be there for a year or two. But also, we see not great racing here, and then we just keep going back to it. It's kind of tough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, for this track to work again, it sounds like a broken record here, but these cars got to get smaller. These cars are massive. These are pickup trucks, length cars, and they're wide. They're really, really, really wide. And I know they're slendering out the car a little bit more next year, or 2026. I don't remember what year that reg's coming into play, but there needs to be some significant changes. I also am curious if they're gonna. Because I know they're keeping the hybrid twin turbo, right? Hybrid twin turbo engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious if because I saw Seb trying to push for V10s again, and I forgot what his entire proposal was, but it wasn't as bad as the other V10s were, pollution wise. Because I know they want to lower their carbon footprint, so on and so forth, kind of thing. But yeah, they got to make a lot of changes with the car regs for this racing to get exciting, because it's just not these cars are fast. They aren't as fast as the previous gens, like that W11 or W11, W12, whatever that was. Still the fastest car to ever exist, the Mercedes. But these cars are just too big. It's just it creates a lot of boring racing.
Yeah, I mean Schumacher couldn't pass Alonso at this track famously, with fresher tires. And granted, it's because Alonso did some great defensive driving, but those cars were also a lot smaller, and it was hard to overtake back then. And it really just hasn't gotten any easier. So. God, I don't want to crap on this track that much, but it's exactly what I thought was going to happen. There was DRS trains, no passing. Oscar made up a spot by undercutting Carlos.
Well, even Checo. Checo qualified P11, and he got to P7th, and I don't think he overtook anyone, did he?
P8.
I think he just passed on pit stops.
Yeah, he might. I don't know if he passed Yuki. Maybe on such a tire advantage at the end, but it wasn't much passing.
He was getting because he made it up to everyone pitted and he stayed out longer.
Yeah, because he started on hards.
Yeah, he started on hards, and then towards the end, they kept him out there for too long. By the way, they kept him out there for way too long.
Yeah, they were hoping for a caution.
Yeah, they were. It
didn't matter.
No, it didn't. But they kept him out there, and people were just overtaking him. There was nothing. I think the only person he put up a fight against at all was Lewis, because he seems not like Lewis at all.
Pretty much. Yeah.
but yeah, they kept him out there for too long. But he mentioned. He mentioned how there's no overtaking on this track. Yeah. There's no overtaking on this track, and when you're hearing it from a guy like that, it says something.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we'll take a look at the driver points here real quick. There was some changes. There's things are getting exciting for sure. So as we start from the top here, we got Max Verstappen in first with 161 points. Charles Leclerc keeping him semi-honest with 113. Sergio Perez drops down to third. That's your change right there. Leclerc to second. Perez drops down to 107. And then sitting short distance behind, you got Lando Norris in fourth with 101. So from Lando to fourth to Charles in second, we only have 12 points, dude. That's pretty close.
It's just crazy because Carlos Sainz missed a race too. So he should probably be in second.
Potentially, yeah. If he, some iffy finish, not iffy, some solid but not great finishes the past couple of weeks has Carlos down in fifth place with 93 points. Then you see kind of the big jump down to Oscar Piastri in sixth with 53. George Russell sitting with Lewis Hamilton's number with 44 points in seventh. Lewis jumps Fernando Alonso barely, 35 points to 33, eighth and ninth. Yuki stays in 10th with 15 points. Lance Stroll stays in 11th with 11 points. Bearman still hanging in 12th with 6 points. Hulkenberg in 13th with 6. Danny Rick in 14th with 5 points. Esteban 1 point in 15. K-Mag 1 point in 16. So, not too far from Max, but Max still has that's essentially a 2-race advantage if Max was to DNF twice, and Leclerc would need to win both of them to catch up to him in points. But second to fourth, second to fifth is pretty exciting. That's 20 points from second to fifth. That's cool.
It's gonna be exciting. I mean, last year was, I think Lewis is in the spot that Charles is in. And
Just like Mr. Consistent type of deal.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a fun race on the end. I'm excited for this McLaren though. They look really, really strong.
Yeah, they brought a car that can fight, no doubt. We're gonna look at the constructors' points. We had actually no changes in order this week. I don't think you're gonna see a change for a little while because everyone's kind of separated. Red Bull is in front with 268. Ferrari's in second with 212. You have McLaren in third with 154. So they're roughly, what is that, like 58?
70. Like about 70. A little less than 68.
68?
No, I'm lying. 60 would be...
It's 58.
Yeah, it's 50. No, it's more than that. It's because 60 would be 204. That's 214. Yeah, you're right. 58.
58?
Yeah.
So 58 down to McLaren. You have Mercedes, which is...
That's crazy. They're almost doubling Aston Martin's numbers.
Yeah.
Like that comment's going to come to bite Alonso in the ass.
Yeah, I've let it go. I've let it go. It doesn't... Because now I'm upset. I was mad, but now I'm upset because I think Alonso would do good in that
Mercedes.
Yeah. It's a car he deserves because his Aston Martin is not a car that he deserves. He's going backwards. But yeah, McLaren's in third with 154. Mercedes in fourth with 79. Aston Martin's in fifth with 44 points. So there's just pretty decent gaps everywhere. And when you get down to that Mercedes, Aston Martin, RB, they're not making up big points weekly. It's small points. So RB sitting there in sixth place with 20 points, separating themselves pretty well from Haas in seventh with 7 points. Alpine with their lone point in eighth. And Williams and Kick. We are 7 races in, Alex, and they still haven't scored a point.
I thought Williams would score by now.
Yeah.
Kick, I'm not entirely surprised, especially after their pit stops.
Are you ready to see our results?
Not really. I know I'm going to be hurting.
No, I don't know why you're so...
I know I could have had so much more, though.
You're so dramatic.
So
dramatic. Yes. All right. So our guest picker was AI this week. So I got to tell Alex
how do you find this?
The full story. So I used Bing, and I did something, and the results was Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Max first, Lewis second. And I was like, all right, well, AI knows that Max is winning everything right now, and the internet is telling it that Lewis Hamilton has the most race wins.
Put him in P5. Oh
no.
You took him out?
Yeah.
Oh.
I did. Jeez. So the internet's saying he has the most race wins of all time, and he's still racing. So, that's what the internet does. So I went to ChatGPT. I checked that out. They did the same thing. They put Max first, Lewis second, and then they put Valtteri Bottas third. So I was like, all right. So clearly...
Bottas third?
Yeah, so I was like, because he has a lot of race wins.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, all right, well, clearly this doesn't know what's going on. So I went back to Bing. I did like a little... I forget what I did. I made it a little bit more descriptive.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he said Imola or Emilia Romagna. And this was the top 5 that it gave me. And that I felt like that was accurate. I felt like it was semi-decent. So the top 5 results were Max, Lando, Charles, Oscar, and Carlos this week. Our AI picked Max, Lando, Sergio, Charles, and Oscar. So our AI got 5 points for getting the winner right, 3 points for getting Lando right, which was 8. And then Charles and Oscar were both in the top 5, so got a point for each of them. So that gave him 10 points.
Do you always add the last initial to the names?
So things got a little tight when I added the guest this year. So I added the last initial only to the top 5 results, and then no last initials to everyone else.
Gotcha.
I mean, no one has.
I never noticed it until now.
Oh, well, thank you, I guess. I don't know.
No.
All right. So you guessed Max, Charles, Lando, Oscar. Max, Charles, Lando, Carlos, and Oscar. So you got your whole top 5 correct, and they all finished in the top 5, which was really good. You got 5 points for getting Max in the right spot, and then 4 points for the other drivers, which gave you 9. You're right. If you would have changed Charles and Lando, you would have had 11 right there.
Qualifying order, and I just got lucky that Oscar got punished.
Yeah. Yes. But you did really good. I had Max, Charles, Carlos, Lando, and then Sergio in 5th. So I got 5 points for getting Max right. Charles, Carlos, and Lando were all in the top 5, which gave me 3. And so AI got 10, you had 9, and I had 8. So that's all very close.
Insane.
Yeah. So AI.
You have an actual picker for this week?
Yeah. AI won the race this week. So you have 60 points, I have 54, and then AI is still 12 points behind, down with 48 points. So so that was
so funny.
That was our game. AI I forgot how I came up with it or whatever. But then I was like, to give you hints, and then I said him once or something.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you just led me astray.
Yeah, well,
that was smart.
Yeah, but I said him, and how do I backtrack it?
You don't have to. You already led me. You led me in the direction. You just played chess.
But I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to lie. I felt like I lied. I felt like by saying him, I lied, and I was like, I can't say like it because then
it's obvious.
Then it might be obvious. Yeah. So, yeah. All right, so that was the Emilia Romagna
That was
Grand
good.
Prix.
It was good. It's funny.
I found out they're about 7 hours. Our Laura Winters, I think is her name on F1 TV, said Imola and Monaco were like 2 hours apart, and then someone corrected her and said 7. So I thought they were like 2 hours apart.
She's probably talking about her private jet.
No, she said she was bad at that it was her geography was bad, and I was like, "Oh, shouts out, girl! Like, you should hear us in the basement. We have no idea where anything is ever." So, yeah, Monaco this weekend. Let me give you the schedule. East Coast times here. Practice 1 is the Friday, 7:30 a.m. Practice 2 is Friday, 11 a.m. Practice 3 is Saturday, 6:30 a.m. The most important part of the weekend, Alex's favorite quali, is at 10 a.m. on Saturday. The race is at 9 a.m. on Sunday. Indy 500 is on at 12:45 on Sunday, and then NASCAR Coca-Cola 600 is on at 6 p.m. on Sunday.
Sounds
so
like you got a lot of racing to watch.
We have a lot of racing on Sunday. Do you know who Kyle Larson is by any chance?
I've heard of him.
So he's racing in the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600.
I knew he was a NASCAR driver. He's IndyCar day.
A couple NASCAR drivers have done this, where they've done both just for this race.
You can do that?
Just for this race, yeah. And he qualified 5th for the Indy 500, which is insane. I think that might be the best qualifying ever by a rookie. So
he's a rookie in IndyCar? He's been around in NASCAR for a while, right?
Yeah. But he's never raced IndyCar before.
That's crazy.
These guys, they don't race IndyCar. They just get in IndyCar for this one day to try to do the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 in the same day. It's 1,100.
You gotta lose so much weight on that day.
It's 1,100 miles.
Hot.
It's 1,100 miles.
These cars get dumb hot too.
Yeah.
Like he must be living off a crap ton of hydration at IVs.
Mm-hmm. So that's cool. But yes, there is a lot of racing to watch on Sunday. So we got that going on. Man, I'm excited to do picks with you. I want to say that.
Do we have to go to the history and stuff? Can we just like?
No.
Okay,
I just want to talk about this. I mean, this is going to be the same deal that it always is. Qualifying on Saturday is going to be the most important part. You're going to watch the race, and after the first lap, wherever they are, they're going to stay there. Then the pit cycle, where we might get a change or two from a few cars. And then whenever they are done with their one pit stop, because that's all they'll probably do, you can turn the race off, because that's going to be the finishing
unless
order.
it rains.
Unless it rains. That is the caveat to everything.
Well, last year
unless it
happened
rains.
and people were like, "Oh, Alonso had a chance to win, but anyone with a half a brain was like, no, he didn't."
No, not really. But yeah, that's the race. It's going to be a lot where you qualify on Saturday. There's absolutely no passing here. If you thought there was no passing in Imola last week, there's definitely none in Monaco.
I forgot. I just saw a highlight where somebody overtook. I think it was Senna who overtook at the chicane.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's impossible.
Impossible.
How?
Did you see Adrian Newey overtook someone?
That's who it was. It was Newey who overtook at the chicane.
You just went from Senna to Newey.
It was Newey.
Because Newey was in a throwback car.
Yeah, it was Newey. I didn't know Newey was an F1 driver. That's insane to me.
What do you mean?
I just didn't think he was an F1 driver.
Is he an F1 driver?
He drove an F1. He drove at that race, or was that like F2 or F3 or something?
No, I think it was like they get in old cars this week in race.
Oh, okay. That's so fucking insane.
You are all over the place.
Dude, I hate Monaco. I'm just gonna flat out say that. I think the only time I've ever been excited at Monaco was when Checo won his first year with Red Bull. Just because I wanted to see Checo, I thought he deserved a seat in Red Bull, and I wanted to see him win a race. But other than that, Monaco's such a boring, dull race. And then you had the exciting qualifying is always usually pretty fun. And wasn't that the year that Checo spun out, so Max couldn't qualify in front of him?
Potentially.
Yeah, that was like the allegation against him, that Max forever lived in his head rent free.
Yes, which I respect. I love the
dude. I'm sorry. I don't know how you're a grown adult like that and you hold on to a grudge when you already won the championship.
Nah, that's what makes him.
That's annoying.
That's what makes him the GOAT. But yeah, so this race.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Oh no, sorry.
Okay.
That's what makes him up there on the Mount Rushmore. That's what puts him on the Mount Rushmore is the pity, or not the pity, but it's the holding on to things like that.
Petty.
Never letting things go. So, what else we got to say about Monaco? Anything?
I don't know, man. This race is just boring. I don't know what they can do to really make this race entertaining. Even with the smaller cars, it wasn't that much entertaining. It just has so much history. I would love to go to Monaco and watch the race, but
you think Taylor Swift will be there?
No, she's not with Fernando Alonso anymore.
So you don't think she's gonna be there?
There's so many celebrities.
I want you to put some
money.
No, not money, but she's the
guess?
biggest celebrity right now, and all the celebrities normally go. And Kelsey's part owner of Alpine, so
yeah, that's true too.
I could see them going to this. Oh, I think they're in Italy, by the way.
So yeah, they're definitely going if that's the case.
Yeah.
What do you have, Taylor? What do you do? Track her private jet?
No, I heard something about her and Charles being out there. It was on the McAfee show.
Yeah, he'll probably be there. They'll probably both be there. Any other surprise celebrities think will be there? Tom Holland will probably be there.
That'll be cool. So
Tom
Zendaya too.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else right off the top of my head.
Is Brady there? Think Brady shows up?
He has nothing else better to do. Why not?
Oh, why not?
That roast. I gotta watch that roast. That roast. I saw clips of it. It looks pretty funny.
We're going up to the lake this weekend. So 5-hour trip. So we're gonna watch the roast because I heard it was like 3 hours long.
Oh wow.
The roast. Yeah. So
I'm gonna watch it in the way. You're just throwing it up on just listen in the car. Right
yeah, I'll listen. She'll watch.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that's where I'll be for all my viewing experience on Sunday.
That's fun.
What do you got off for work this week for Memorial Day?
I'm not sure. I might actually work Memorial Day because
a little bit of money.
Yeah.
You get the holiday pay?
Yeah, a little bit of holiday pay.
Hey, there you go.
I might pick it up. I'm still debating it.
Okay, but you don't get Friday off?
I don't get Friday off. I'm debating taking Friday off in general. I have so much PTO. I don't know what I'm doing with it.
So take Friday off.
Yeah, I might just take Friday off.
Make that holiday pay.
Make the holiday pay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, Brooke gets Friday and Monday off. She's living that good life. So I don't get.
Dude, you know what's a good job, Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron needs like shoulder surgery.
Shouts out Ron.
Yeah, Ron needs like shoulder surgery, and they're offering they wanted to go meet with a doctor in like Greenwich or something like that.
Okay.
But they're not only would they might fully cover the surgery, which mind you, Ron works behind a computer desk all day. He works from home and behind a computer. They'll cover his entire surgery potentially if they feel like it needs to be, and they'll also pay for him to be transported there.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
He got a stipend for driving up there last week.
That's cool. Listen, Ron's an important guy.
I was like, dude, I need your job.
Ron's an important guy. I still don't know what he does, but
he's a computer science guy.
Huh.
So he just develops stuff.
He didn't go to Wilcox Tech, Alex. That's what.
No, yep. He used his brain. Hi.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have our guest picker for this week. Just walked into the basement here for Monaco. I figured this is where all the celebrities come, so we got to bring the celebrities. You got that chair right there. Oh, Carter, what's up?
Got the bib on.
Carter, can you say hi to the people?
Say hi.
Okay. Guys, you just witnessed Carter finger boofs. Those are special around here. Brooke, you are.
No, Carter's
All
in.
right. Can you at least
he's
say
locked
hello?
in.
All right. So Brooke is here, not on the screen making pics. That's how, dude. All right. Brooke, are you excited for Monaco?
Can't wait.
That's a lie. Brooke, why don't you tell the people at home when you take your best naps? She does.
So you leave John with Carter.
Oh, no.
Or Carter with John.
Yeah. That's why I watch a lot of these races.
You know what I just said?
What?
I said you leave John with Carter. Like Carter watches you.
That sounds pretty accurate. Are you pretty into the stream? What's going on over there? Oh boy. Did you just have dinner? What did you have? Okay. That sounds yummy, I guess.
Did you have a cookie?
Brooke, so I didn't give you a lot of notice, but did you put any real thought into this?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to start it off with you, though. So you're going to have to pick you're going to have to pick first place.
Can you give a list of names?
You don't need a list of names, especially for first place, Brooke.
I don't want to pick him.
You have to. You have to.
Pick him. I don't have to pick him.
Do you really want to list the names? You have Max, Lando, Charles.
What do you think, Lando or Charles?
That sounds
Lando.
Oh, that
sounded like
Yeah, I
Charles.
was gonna say that sounded like Charles.
Fine, Charles.
No, you're going with Lando?
No.
Perfect.
She's
Said Charles.
It did sound like Charles.
It
though.
did.
Well, it didn't really sound like either, but it sounded close.
I heard the S.
All right, so Brooke's going Charles. Who are you going with?
Max.
Who are we going?
Max.
You're going with Max?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't have it up on it. I wonder, they might not. Yeah, okay, anyways. All right, for myself, I think it's hysterical that Carter picked this because this is who I was going to pick. I think that Leclerc is going to get the Monaco curse off his back. He doesn't need much. We need one good qualifying lap. That's all we need. And this could be the place where he gets it done. So I am following my son. You know, I was going to pick it first. I was really hoping he was going to pick Lando. Then we were all going to have a different race winner. But all right, so Max, Charles, Brooke, you were picking second place.
What do you think? Lando? Okay.
Okay. Wow, you don't even have Max in the top two, Carter.
Who's Max?
Okay. Alex?
I'm gonna follow suit here and go Charles.
You're gonna go Charles?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I just have him permanently in second place all the time. No, John, we're not going with the Mercedes.
How does Oscar get around the streets? Nah, this is a Lando deal. Do I want Oscar? Nah, I'll go Lando. I'll follow. Yes, all right. But what name was that for third?
Speaking the words of the people. He said,
You guys have Max, Sergio.
I think he said Esteban.
Oscar, Lewis, George.
No, do not choose a Mercedes. Do not choose a Mercedes.
Oh, Bella heard Charles too. See, yeah. It was definitely Charles.
Beep, beep, beep. Yeah.
That sounded like Sergio.
Whatever beep, beep, beep is.
All right. Well, maybe since you're supposed to be picking, maybe you can decipher what beep 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 is. And,
That's 3 syllables, Sergio.
Wait, Sergio or Max?
Oh, that's
That's
Max.
not
That's
Max.
Max.
That was Max. For sure. Why are you taking all my picks?
That's crazy. I'm gonna go Lando.
You're going Lando?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you were supposed to pick before me too this week.
That don't matter. All right. I'm going to say this is the last week that I'm going to quote unquote not care. I'm going to lock in after this week. I'm going to go.
John, I swear to goodness.
Go,
I will leave this show right now if you do something abysmal.
I'm going to go Carlos third.
Okay.
I'm going to go Carlos third.
I like that.
Carter?
Where are you going, Carter?
Carter, you're picking fourth place now. Decent people you have left are Oscar, Carlos, Sergio, George, and Lewis. Carlos, all right. Very decisive fourth place finish. Fourth place we got here. Carter, I think you're doing a great job. Just want you to know that. Alex, who are we picking for fourth?
I'm gonna go Oscar.
You're going Oscar, okay. Charles, Lando,
Hamilton?
I'm going Oscar fourth as well. Where do I go so I can put Lewis in fifth?
Don't do this, John. You already went against your words last week, and it.
What do you mean? I didn't.
You didn't. You wanted to. Yeah, you need to stick to your guns here. They still haven't finished P5.
Yeah. All right, Brooke, you got one more. Charles, Lando, Max, and Carlos.
Carter picked Hamilton.
Okay, my guy. That's my son. I've never been more proud of you.
He's so confused.
You still can't touch the mic. Right? I mean, I guess you could do whatever you want. I don't really
I'm gonna go Carlos.
You're going Carlos in fifth? Okay. Now, I have not put Max
Wow,
in my top
I
five.
almost debated putting Checo to win this race, and I don't even have him in my top 5.
I don't have Max in my top 5,
That's
and I'm going to put him in there because I do think he'll finish top 5. He might not win this week, but I still want that point for him finishing the top 5. All right, so someone's giving thumbs up over here. Yeah, no big deal. The camera will turn off, but that's fine. No biggie. Don't matter. You're the best looking one on the show, so I don't know why you'd want to turn it off. Right, dude? Can you wave to the camera? Can you wave to the camera? All right. Alex picked Max, Charles, Lando, Oscar, Carlos. Brooke and Carter picked Charles, Lando, Max, Carlos, and Lewis. And then I picked Charles, Lando, Carlos, Oscar, Max. So basically, it's the Red Bull McLaren battle. And then with Ferrari and one Mercedes sprinkled in. Here you go, Carter. Look, you're on YouTube. You see that? You're famous. And I don't want to brag, but Bella's in chat and your grandfather's in chat right now. So.
Oh, CJ.
Yeah, that's he. You got fans, dude. People are here.
Can you blow kisses?
You blow kisses to the
Oh.
camera. Oh, nice. Can you give Alex?
Can I get finger boop?
You give Alex finger boop, and then
You do knuckles?
you do knuckles. I'm good. Boom! Oh, he almost broke his wrist again, Carter. Yeah, go ahead. Press some buttons. Turn off the stream. All right, I'll see you in a few minutes, buddy.
Give her kisses.
Love you. Thank you, Brooke. All right. As he makes his exit, walking across the table. Bye, Carter.
Bye-bye.
Oh, he was screaming very loud for us. Oh, yeah, that was fun. We have to rewatch and see if that's on. Bro, what? Were there floor presses today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is my dirty?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that was a surprise right there. Alex has no idea who the guest pickers are. Maybe one day he'll know what's going on. Man, all right. So, yeah, let's, as we're looking at this, putting some thought without the cuteness distracting us now. I really think Charles is going to get that monkey off his back. You clearly don't. You think it's going to be another Max weekend?
To be fair, I debated between Charles. I don't think Lando's super strong in this kind of circuit.
He has finished podium before.
He has, but I just don't think to be competing against 'cause this race is all about qualifying, and you're putting your car at the edge. You're nearly touching the wall. Charles is really good at this. Notoriously, usually pretty good at this. I know he qualified P1 the year the regs, right? The new regs came in, and then I think something happened where he ended
The gearbox, yeah.
The gearbox.
He qualified P1 and then wrecked it.
Mm-hmm. And then, but yeah, so I think I was debating between Charles, Sergio, and Max. Those were my 3 I was debating between. And then I had Lando finishing P2, P3 in my head the entire time. Mm-hmm. So I do think I would love for Charles to win this race. I think he deserves it. You know, this is his home race.
Yep.
It's Ferrari, a home race too. Pretty much. I feel like he puts so much pressure on himself.
Okay.
That he's going to just make one minor mistake during qualifying. It's going to throw off his race.
To get back to Sergio real quick, were you really considering Sergio even after last week?
Yeah, I was.
Still?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just think he's notoriously just really good at this track.
Okay. I think we're seeing the fall off. I think we're seeing the Sergio Perez fall off that we saw last year. That's where I think we're at early on. After Miami and Imola, but I could be wrong. I
think
you're not
Was he
wrong.
competing at this track last season, or was this where he started to fall off?
I don't remember, but I'm looking up results right now for you. Mm-hmm. But you are not wrong in the fact that he is strong at this track.
I mean, just based off history alone, too. There's certain tracks that guys just vibe with, and I feel like he vibes with the track pretty well. Like Yuki had a really good Imola stint, but that's also the track where Yuki did his practice for F1 when he was in F2. That's where he was doing all his training and stuff.
Yeah. Sergio finished 16th here last year.
Okay.
So
I remember, because I remember I had him winning this race last year.
Okay.
And he I forgot what happened, but he bombed.
Well, let's take a quick look at see what DraftKings thinks about who's going to do what this weekend. Max minus 200. That's the lowest his odds have been to even money.
Lando at plus 550. That's crazy.
Yeah, Lando in second with plus 550. Charles in third with plus 550. So Lando and Charles both getting the same odds here. I like it. I think it's spicy. The only thing that really intrigues me here, if I was a betting man, is I feel like I would have to throw money on Oscar or Carlos, because literally all it takes is that qualifying lap. That's all it takes. You put in that qualifying lap, there's a good shot you can win. And at plus 1,600 plus odds, man, if I was a gambler like some dudes at work, I might not mind throwing some money.
Oscar. I think Oscar's a safe bet to like win some serious money.
Yeah.
He became very close to like out qualifying Max.
Yeah, exactly. So you got Lando and Charles sitting at the same odds. Oscar's all by himself at plus 1,400. Sergio and Carlos sitting at the same odds. Then it gets a little crazy. You get Lewis and George sitting at the same odds, which is fair because they qualify right next to each other or within a spot or two every week. Fernando at plus 8,000. You got Yuki, Lance at plus 20,000 by themselves. Nico, Danny, Rick at plus 30,000. Then it gets to Valtteri, Pierre, Kevin, Esteban, Alex at plus 40,000. And then Joe Guan Yu joining the Logan Sargent party down at plus 50,000. So, last year was the year I told my friends to smash the Max plus 100, and they did.
That was here plus 100?
I believe it was. But he's down to minus 200 now. But I believe Lando was at least in the thousands last week. And so him being at plus 550, they know anything can happen here. That's spicy. So this is spicy DraftKings. I like it. I like it a lot. So if you're a betting man, though, you're still putting your money on Max, huh?
If I'm a betting, I mean, like, I would probably throw, like, I don't know much about gambling, I'm not going to lie to you, but I would probably throw, like, $50 on Max and then do, like, 100 on Oscar if I had it.
So
if Max wins and I throw 50, I get, like, $20.
So you have to bet $200 to win $100.
So a fourth of that. So I would get
25,
15. Like, no, yeah, it's less than 15. It'd be like 12 something.
Okay. And then Lando, if you bet 100, you would get 550. So what did you say you'd bet on Lando?
So if I would put $100 on Oscar. I feel more confident in Oscar winning this race than I do Lando.
You'd win $1,400.
Yeah, if he wins.
If he was to win, I believe that's how those gambling odds work. But yeah, we actually, now that we're down here now, we have to discuss that we won't be down here next Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Because I won't be back at least. So, so maybe Tuesday we'll have to discuss or not.
We'll see. My schedule's pretty hectic. Tuesday's usually the day I do grocery shopping and all that good old stuff.
Oh, wow. As if you couldn't do that on Monday if we weren't doing the show.
I could. Well, I'm probably going to be working Monday most likely, but we'll see what happens.
Just like you work every other Monday? We would just swap grocery shopping in the store, no?
No. Plus, our store's open for Memorial Day?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The ones that you're going to are. Yeah, like Stop and Shop.
Okay.
Where do you shop? Aldi's?
Walmart.
Big Y?
I think I can afford Stop and Shop. The fuck?
What do you mean? I don't get people say that, dude.
Stop and Shop's so expensive.
Stop and Shop has their own brands, dude. They're cheap. They're good.
I'll give you that. If you get their brand stuff, then yes, it's cheap. But if you get anything else, it's like so expensive.
All right. Well, listen, guys, if we're not here on Tuesday next week, it's because Alex is grocery shopping, all right? I just want it to be known. Let the chat know that you'll be grocery shopping.
I'm a man of a schedule, okay? Like, Tuesday are the days that I finally get to relax. And rarely doesn't happen, all right? So, I'm taking that Tuesday if I can take that Tuesday.
All right, well, listen.
But if not, we'll see. We'll see where the night takes us. We'll see where the day takes us.
We going to talk about dodgeball last week or no?
We could. John's team thwarted me, and we just got outplayed. I don't feel like we did anything necessarily wrong. Yeah, we did. We gave up a lot of ball control. I can go into that. We gave up way too much ball control. But it is what it is.
So you said we didn't do anything wrong, and my brain went to, you guys really didn't. But then the one comment that we made was that you gave up a lot of ball control.
It was like you guys had 5 so many times, and I was like, Just hold. Like, we just need to hit our team throws. That and, like, Ron is reaching for everything, and I keep on telling him not to. So hopefully, going forward, he listens, and he'll stop reaching.
But you knew your mistake real quick. You're no dummy, bro.
I know how to. Contrary to what your captain might think, I know exactly what he's doing 90% of the time, and I can call out what he's doing. The problem is I'm so damn blind that I can't read his damn throw.
I mean, because if you're doing, it's not rocket science. If you're doing the right thing, everyone knows what you're doing.
Yeah, but Ryan does the right thing, but selfishly sometimes. Like, you could tell, like, there's times when I know, he's gonna throw this ball instead of letting his teammate get this throw in, just because he feels more confident. Which I understand it. Like, it's a smart play because he is probably the most accurate thrower in the league. But, like, I can read him like a book, and I just can't counter it because I can't see the damn ball. It drives me nuts.
Someone on my team, I think, was starting to talk a little smack about you on my side. And I had to be like, bro, calm down. That man will cook you 1v1 if he wants to. He will headshot you every single time. So I had to tone that down a little bit. I think he was just getting excited because we were winning
Brandon?
and doing good.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he made he made a comment, and I told him, I was like, dude, that dude will smoke you. I was like, I give Alex his flowers. Don't start that battle. You don't. My strat. I'm just gonna be flat out honest with you. Was, all right, get a person out, stack the queue a little, go for Ryan next. Yeah.
That was my entire strat, and it was working for the first 2 games.
Yeah.
And then we threw away. There was one game, so like you guys won 3 in a row. And then when we went to go to play that game, that would have tied this game potentially. Okay. You guys got me, Greg, and Hevie and Nate out off deflections. Like, it hit me, and then it hit into Hevie. Yeah, and then it hit Greg or hit Nate, and it hit into Greg or Nate. I forgot. But I was like, wow, we are both, all our strongest throwers just out immediately. Like that. Just like off, like, just so unfortunate.
He did come at me a few times. I didn't really know why you were coming at me. I thought it was a little disrespectful, but, no big deal.
I came at you?
I mean, other guys were talking crap about you on my team. You didn't hear them saying anything?
I don't really care.
When Brandon said something, I was like, oh, he said it kind of loud, and I was like, it wasn't that
the
bad.
Only thing I heard was him say, like, stop bullying me. And I was like, it was either him or Taylor that I was no. I was literally targeting them just to get them out, and then after that was Ryan.
I felt like he said something else. It was not like, it's not like, yo, Alex is a piece of crap, but he was something, and I was like, dude, he'll cook you. Careful.
Alan stepped out a few times, and I saw it.
Because he's got size 14 feet. He
stepped out. He stepped out like 4 times, and I'm like, oh my god. And there was one play. I forgot what it was. Oh, there was somebody. I think it was Matt. Matt blocked it into his chest, and everybody and their mother saw it, but the refs didn't. And he stayed in. I was like, come on, man.
I don't know that play, to be honest. No. I can see the feet stepping out, though.
No, Alan, it's literally like at the side. He's just stepping out every time.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. We still, at the end of the day, you guys beat us 6-2. It's not like it was close. Or 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, whatever the heck it was.
I know, but sometimes those games, they're not like the score says 6-2, but like at one point, you're like 1 game away. And
like I said, that play where you guys got us out in the corners from the deflections, it just felt like an entire, like, what's the word? Momentum swing.
Yeah.
Swing.
Yeah. When we lost to tripping balls, like at one point it was like 3-2 or something. Like, or we could have tied it, or we could have got it within 1, and then you lose that game, and then it just separates more. But
yeah, it is what it is.
Who are you facing this Wednesday? Do you know? I have no idea.
Clue. I know Sean changed the schedule up, so I gotta actually take a look at that.
He changed the schedule?
Yeah, because remember that game that kid broke his elbow?
Mm-hmm.
They never played that game, so he has to like reschedule that game and towards the end of the season, and it ended up messing like with other things, so on and so forth, kind of thing. I couldn't tell you what exactly it was, but I gotta take a look at it.
Sounds like a pain. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we don't know if we don't know when we're gonna be here next week. Usually I'm sitting here saying we're gonna be here next Monday, but it is Memorial Day, so make sure you are enjoying your time with your family. And Alex has grocery shopping on Tuesdays, so.
Oh my god. Yep.
Oh my god, he says. Oh, Alex, I love you. Be okay with the Knicks. You don't care about hockey at all, right?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm gonna start. If I start following hockey, I think I'm gonna start following the. I always say I'm a Capitals fan because of Alex Ovechkin. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason. But
I would pick a new team only because Ovechkin.
He's probably. I know he's on his way out. But yeah. I was gonna start rooting for Seattle.
Okay.
Their new team because I think their jerseys look sick.
The Kraken.
Yeah, I think their jerseys look so sick.
Cool. They're a new team too, so no one's gonna be like you're a bandwagon fan really. So, all right, that's cool stuff.
Are you a Rangers fan? Or Bruins?
No, I'm a Pens fan.
You're a Pens fan? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm sticking with Pittsburgh. And my boy, And my boy Lorenzo is a Pens fan, so
Oh, sweet.
he got me on that train. Yeah, thumbs up.
All right.
Wait, what? This does balloons?
Does it? I don't know how
Oh,
it works.
I thought it did. I thought the peace sign did balloons.
Alrighty.
Whatever.
All
All right. Thank you for listening to our jibber jabber. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, and we will be back. Goodbye.